Yo, yo, everybody. Give me just a moment. Gonna give everybody a few moments to hop on, and then we'll get going. We have Paradigm joining us tonight. So let me go ahead and tweet this out at Paradigm. Dime. Where is he? No, there he is. Okay. Retweet the link, let your friends, family know, and let me call this guy.
No, sir.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I thought you said no. I was like, no, what?
And we are live, so I kind of called you while we're in the middle of being live, but I wanted to introduce you before you got
Oh,
on.
hi. Ah,
But yeah, man, I'm giving everybody a few moments to hop on, so me and you can chat until everybody gets in. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm just kind of looking at Bitcoin at the moment because it looks like it wants to pump. There's a lot of
Oh,
huge buys coming in at the moment, and it's like, my shorts. Huh.
yeah, I think it could probably maybe go to like 95 from here.
96 is the region I'm looking at.
Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, it hasn't lost ET structure yet, but those
Are
are the
you're on?
weak settings.
Are you streaming on Twitch? I want to be able to see the.
Yes, I'm on Twitch and I'm on Periscope on Twitter. So either or. I can actually share my screen so that's easier for you.
I can. I just wanted to see the chat. That's all.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. No one's in here yet. What the heck? This is a scam.
They are on. Say hi over at Twitter. Dime wants you to say hi, guys. All right, well they'll hop in eventually and start talking. These must just be the normal viewers. Yeah, so I'm gonna go over some altcoins. I'm gonna tell everybody I'm gonna be shorting Theta, and I'm gonna check some stocks with you, and we'll just mess
Abs-
around with Trend Spider tonight, I
I,
guess.
I I pulled up all my charts that I posted so I can share them with you.
Yo, what do you think about Theta, man? I think this is like
Theta.
just gonna go down. That was like the best short in the world.
Um, it may go down from here, but it did just print a higher high. It's obviously if you already got a short in at the last peak, hold on to it for dear life. Definitely a possibility that it goes a little further just to mess with all of the brand new margin traders. But that is a heck of a pump to fade. Quite frankly, it was just huge, so fast. I haven't actually looked at the chart yet today.
Yeah, chart went nuts, insane. But the minute they listed that thing, I just figured, you know what?
Bam!
Let's do it.
It's quite a wick on the daily chart.
Kill him, Michael, Zach, Ponzi Trader. Wait, are these the old ones? Hello, everybody. I think the old stream stuff is on.
What are you talking about? The old stream stuff?
I streamed earlier today, and I guess the chat is still open on my end for restream.
Ah,
But yeah, we can get going. I think we have enough viewers now. So yeah, let's. What do you want to look at first? It's up to you. Do you want to look at crypto first? Do you want to look at legacy?
what do the viewers want if they're talking?
Viewers don't get to decide, unfortunately, in the beginning. They can decide afterwards with chart
Well,
request.
you kind of already started out with crypto,
All right,
so
we'll run with it then.
grab my algo chart. That's the one I'm looking at right now.
And I'll share my Discord chart screen with you so you can see what I'm talking before I start talking shit. I still think
Excellent.
for me for Bitcoin, I mean, even if we haven't pumped yet, so I'm still bearish on Bitcoin. But until we can break like this higher high on Bitcoin, I'm not flipping bullish until we can break these
Yeah,
structures.
the risk reward at this point is to look for shorts, not to look for longs unless you're scalping.
Yeah. Are there
Yeah.
any in particular tickers that you're looking at, like for crypto? Anything other
Uh,
than Bitcoin?
algo has my attention right now.
Mm.
I'm loading up my chart. Thought I had. Oh, I can't.
If you screen
This
share
is,
on Discord, I can show everybody too.
yeah, working.
Algo.
I have to get to.
Algo Binance. Okay.
So, okay. well, this is fine. I might just send you a screenshot here in a second.
That's fine.
Hide this. Sorry for the delay, sir.
You're good, man. No rush.
Copy and paste.
Okay.
JBags demands crypto on Twitch.
All right, sir. We will give you. Okay, here we go.
All right. So there's a
Okay.
few things going on here that are of interest to me. Uh, First of all, we are above the capitulation anchored VWAP, which it has been respecting and trending over for the last 3 weeks. It has also built a significant little volume base there, indicating to me that there's buyers here in general. And there's just, quite frankly, a very nice setup in regards to where it can go. It depends if Bitcoin decides to go vertical or completely nuke at this point, but it does appear to me that there's been people trending this up and buying it. The long thesis is basically terminated if we get a daily close below that anchored VWAP. But the volume base that we're seeing right there says to me that people are starting to FOMO into it a little. Now, the first obvious target is obviously 30 cents, but I've marked out some of the levels that I'm paying attention to. Um, I'm definitely going to, if we hit 30 cents, that's definitely kind of going to be my TP1. But ideally, it goes up to 45 cents.
Man, that would be really nice. Yeah, that's my max I would aim for is the 45 cents. I wouldn't really even bother to try to aim for the top.
Exactly.
And is that
Algo's,
fibs on the right in blue?
I'm sorry, what?
Is that Fibonacci on the right? The fib
Yeah,
levels?
so
Okay.
that's Fib drawn from bottom, top to bottom. So the green boxes were just kind of like areas to watch. But the big thing I'm just paying attention to is the volume by price, which is anchored again to the capitulation bottom, and the general trending upwards over the anchored VWAP. Very possible we come down and test it again, but really depends what Daddy Bitcoin decides.
Yeah, all eyes on it. I mean, one of the biggest things I'm looking for is like even if we do dip with Bitcoin, I think a lot of the coins that are like strong and are looking strong, like for example, this algo that you brought up to me, let's just say Bitcoin does dip and magically dump to like about I don't know, 75 or 80, 81 or 82 at this point. I mean, I think this anchored VWAP area would definitely end up holding because that's where I'd be looking for a bounce when Bitcoin dips. Like if it can jump up when Bitcoin dips, like I think it'll jump up even more when Bitcoin starts recovering.
Correct. The Bitcoin dominance chart has kind of pulled back a little bit, which is giving alts a little bit of breathing room at this point. I haven't been trading a lot of alts recently, but effectively, this and Tezos are my only bags at the moment.
I have another bag. I have a bag of
What
CHZ.
what do you not have a bag of?
I have a lot of bags. I actually ended up moving a lot of my money into crypto because alt season was looking too good. So I was like, let's go do it. And a lot of people just keep DMing me stuff, and they're like not stupid people. So it's like, oh man, let's try. I didn't have a bag of Theta. That was I'm really depressed about. I had a bag of T Fuel, but no Theta.
I had Theta like 3 months ago, and I wasn't patient enough to wait. I'm a little salty, but I'll get over it.
Yeah. Oh, ENJ is another one I'm looking at. I wonder if that's already reacted to that news.
What
Yeah, it
news?
did.
Oh, ENJ.
Yeah, the Minecraft news.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, they're apparently you can they're partnering up with Minecraft now and you can put stuff on the blockchain via Minecraft.
Wow, that sounds terrible.
Well,
I mean, yeah, pump the Ponzi, but like, uh, Minecraft does not need a crypto. Really
no, no,
does
it's
not.
it's not crypto. They're just allowing you to basically store the items onto the blockchain, so that way they can't get deleted or removed
In-
type shit.
Interesting.
Cause I mean I could see that being useful because like there are people who like make stuff on Minecraft and spend a lot of time because apparently on Fiverr there are tons of people that will build stuff for you at like either $250 an hour or like 1,000 per contract and this is in a video game. I was like, what?
That's crazy.
So Yeah, E&J's that one. The other one I was looking at is AGI. What do you think of that one? Do you see anything on your end with the VWAP? I should pull that up.
The Bitcoin pair or the USD pair? I'm not sure if there is a USD pair.
Um, Bitcoin pair's fine.
Hmm. The first thing I usually look at is TradingView, just because I have Deja's script, which provides really, really interesting pivots. And so far, it's rejected this orange pivot that I just marked out for you a second ago. Wow, I haven't looked at this chart in a while. Those green boxes are from August and September. Let me go check it out on the Spider of Trends.
All right, I see. I see your boxes now.
Ignore the boxes. The boxes aren't important. What I was looking at are the pivots, and so far we've rejected that big orange pivot at the moment. Uh, Very possible we get a pullback here, but quite frankly, it still hasn't really broken downtrend reasonable fashion. Um, it's another falling wedge in crypto.
Yeah, I like the hopium.
It's there's so many falling wedges. Okay, so this is a really good example. So going down to the capitulation bottom,
Did you send it to me? Or are you sharing your screen?
I'm about to send it to you.
Okay.
So I haven't done any. Oh, that's not.
Matic soon to be listed on Coinbase Insider Info. Well, you don't want to write Insider Info, but yeah,
Hello,
if
SEC.
if you know about that, it's gonna be listed on Coinbase. Just man, dude, get out the minute it gets listed, or right when you get that announcement news. Because typically, when things get listed on Coinbase, it starts off at Coinbase Pro, which is the pump, and then when it gets listed for the public, that's the dump.
Beautiful. Let's see here. I need to go to the weekly candle for. I wish TrendSpider had 3-day candles. Oh wow. Okay, so this gives me a much more bullish view on it. If I can, I
ZRX
can't.
looks like it might fall back into the channel, which isn't too good for it.
Okay, so this both looks better and worse here. Still working on AGI for you, and you're just flipping right ahead.
Oh, you're good. I'm just scrolling through, seeing if anything's changed. Everything still looks the same for my last couple streams.
So anchoring to the last high that they had on AGI, we are below the volume zone, as you can see, and the weekly candle is not looking good at all. Um, this if this was a stock, this is not a trade I would take in any sense. There's just you want it to be above the volume base, and right now it's below and printing an ugly candle. Will it pump? Probably at some point, but as it stands right now, not interested. I'm gonna actually take this back one more level. I want to look at one thing I've been doing with TrendSpider is I actually look at the yep, that's the same. I look at the listing candle, so whenever
Yep.
the particular asset got listed, that often gives you like a really, really macro point of view on where the buyers actually come in and where they don't. So, quite frankly, don't want to touch AGI at this point.
Okay.
So much money left the entire market.
In the total market cap?
Yeah,
I mean it did. It really did, but then it recovered all the way back up. Like it came all the way back through and like at this point what I'm seeing on the total market cap. I mean it does look like a top. I'm not going to lie because we're still in range, but I am seeing this compression and if we can get this thing to pop up over here, I still think anything over 300 billion for the market cap is going to mean alt so much. I mean it's going to be alt season. Oh, I thought you were making a comment like on that losing. I didn't realize I had my thing written on there.
yeah.
So what are you seeing on Cheddar Flow, man? Did you see anything exciting? I saw a lot of Macy's flow, dude. I'm long
I,
Macy's.
s- I saw the Macy's flow. I don't really like touching retail companies in general. I didn't really enter any new positions today except for W Day and Under Armour. I think I got. Oh yeah, I picked up those Oxy calls.
Oh
Oxy.
God, I was been looking for that one for a while. I'm just scared to play it.
Where is my chart? I have an Oxy chart
Yeah,
somewhere.
let me see if I could show you it. There's mine. Easy money box is what I want to play, but I'm so scared to play that easy money box because we had that gap fill, but with oil being so unpredictable as it has been, I'm just a little nervous. I'm like, well,
Well, the calls that I got are dirt cheap, and if they actually pay off, then I'll be fine. Where is my chart? Is this? That's last night. Oh yeah, I got American Express today. That was really fun.
really, AMX.
Yeah. Here's my Oxy chart. So we saw calls coming in today, really large, unusual calls, and they were aiming for a $20 strike, which happens to coincide
For which
with
ticker?
the OXY.
Oh, oops, sorry. All right, I have it pulled up for everybody so they can
I
see.
sent, I sent you the chart as well, what I'm looking at the moment.
FBI's after you.
So what we see here, oh, you keep moving back and forth.
Sorry.
What we see here is, oh, did I? Oh no, I anchored it to the right place. Anchored to the very top of Oxy's recent high. We have no buyers coming in from here, from the top to where we are now. And then suddenly, the last 2 weeks, we see it continually respecting the capitulation VWAP, forming a volume base, very similar to what we saw on Alga when we looked at it a few minutes ago. Confluence with the order flow and the fact that I think oil found like a little local bottom here tells me that there's some kind of catalyst that's incoming that's going to send this up to 20. Regardless, the calls that I got were maybe I spent $300 on them. They're I think they were 20 cents or something, and I only got a small bag because oil is very unpredictable, as you said. But what I'm seeing here is that there is volume at this level, volume that hasn't been seen in months. So, and you can also just see it on the actual volume indicator on the bottom. But the volume by price is showing us that this is where people are potentially beginning to participate in the market again. So, hopefully, with whatever happens next, the move is going to be up towards 20, and I will be a happy dime.
Let's go, man. Let's send it. I really want to play this one. I just don't know if it'll end up working out for me. Let's check WTI, see how that's doing.
I was talking to TrendSpider today, and they were telling me to look at MRO. Very similar setup. All the oil stocks kind of look like this right.
See, for me, what I was gonna play Marathon Oil. Okay,
There was,
they're already going for their gap fill.
yep.
Um,
Oxy hasn't even moved yet.
so yeah, look at this, guys. So for me, look at this. This is also the other cool thing is this is almost 100% guaranteed to go up because the way EG set up is we have 20 SMA cutting through, everything's over the everything. So I would say $758 is definitely an easy target here. That's cool.
Send it.
The other one that's related to oil that ends up making a lot of money is this XOP one. This one's setting up so nicely. It's already out here,
Ooh,
broke out, ready to
ooh.
go. I want to long the fuck out of this. And there's a gap up here too. So I was like, oh man, this is so strong up here. And if we dig into like XOP over there, hold on.
On the cheddar flows. Oh, you're on Koi.
Yes,
There's a
there.
lot of people buying the 2021 calls on XOP.
It blows my mind. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I mean, if I see a setup on oil, I'll trade it. But I don't hold any more energy funds at all in my long-term accounts.
This is the
I
one
don't.
some dude brought up to us before was RRC, and this thing has been a monster. Dude, that
Oh
shit
wow.
broke out and has been non-stop, and this is about to reverse back to bullish and make some more legs. This has been reversing the minute the coronavirus was at like its peak. I don't understand why it's been peaking like this. But that's one of the top weights on
Maybe
XOP.
maybe they're. I don't know anything about them. Maybe they're more natural gas or something, and wasn't as exposed to the oil volatility.
This is another one getting ready to set up for another move up.
Oh, some dude hates this company.
Yeah, I know. That's why it's on the list, but it's one of XOP's top tickers. They have a 6% weight on them.
Huh. Need to use Koifin more. And I think I looked at it once when you showed it to me, and I was like, "This is cool, but meh."
It's helpful when you're looking at like ETFs. Aside from that, um, It's a little different. If you're looking for historical information, more of breakdowns, it's cool.
Let's see what else am I. Oh
Aerospace
yeah,
and defense keeps moving up. It gapped up 2 days in a row now.
yeah. I'm actually planning to buy Boeing 200 calls tomorrow. Someone gave me a tip, and I really let me pull. I have the chart.
Oof, look at that. Fell out, it popped out, and now it's into the clouds, dude.
Look at the 24-hour chart.
Can you share
it
it with me?
Oh, you don't have that. Pro tip: if you turn on extended hours and have the 24-hour chart on, it'll show you the extended hour charts.
Yeah, if I don't
Very,
have
very.
pro.
Oh, right. I forgot you're a pleb. Uh,
Wait,
where did I put
I
all
can always go over here. I think TrendSpider might have future hours.
it? I don't think they do, but here I have Boeing. I'm sending it to you.
See, I'm so used to the raindrop candles that like I don't even have regular ones on anymore. Oh,
I like the
dude.
raindrop candles, but
It's good for breakout points or whenever the price is over certain areas. Like whenever I see it over the POC and it's like a wick on normal ends, but then when I push it to raindrop candles, I'll see it come up. I'll be like, oh wow. But let me switch this over for everybody. Yeah, look at that. So the shelf, I see your POC shelf and anchored, and
yep. Bullish divergence as well, leading into the pump that we're seeing now, combined with the fundamental catalyst news that we got right at close, that they were going to be reopening their plants with a reduced staff.
I
It
just saw
I
some
don't
new. I just saw a TV thing that they're cutting another 7,000 or 4K to 7K jobs. Would that be good or bad?
Sorry, could you repeat that? You cut out a little bit there.
Yeah, Boeing is. I just saw like an article on the news just a little bit ago that they were cutting another 4,000 to 7,000 jobs.
Yep, some of them were what was it? Some of them were laid off and some of them were bought out. But typically, a reduction in workforce is better for their bottom line. So hopefully, this help. Also, people have completely forgotten, but they had massive issues with their planes, systemically having issues and not getting fixed before they went out into production. So I don't have any conviction to hold this for like another year or so.
Yeah, just short
But,
term.
but, but things could definitely improve for Boeing. But until people start traveling, the demand for planes isn't there. But all we have here is a setup for a pump to at least 240. A gap fill would be really, very nice, but I'm going to be looking at the June 200 strikes tomorrow.
Disney's going for those gap fill in the upper volume shelves too. I like how you're calling them volume shelves. I saw him doing it that calling them that. I'm like, I'm like that's a really nice way to call them because
I use volume base and I also use volume shelf. I mean, they both mean the same thing. Uh,
I just sound like an idiot. I'm like, yo, the volume thing that's popping out on the side, strong guys, strong support. So that's a good thing to sound a little professional. Volume shelf.
I don't know where you're anchored on that one. Are you anchored to the top?
Um, I don't know how this one's anchored. I probably would want to get some tips on there. I don't have one of the things on here.
You
Turns
have
out.
volume by price, but you need to. There's a vertical white line probably on your left hand side.
This one?
Yeah. So no. Vertical left.
Oh,
There it
oops,
is.
yeah.
So you have to drag that to points of interest. Usually, dragging it to market bottoms or market tops will give you the clearest picture. But essentially, it just shows you where the volume is from that point. You want to typically take it to the top, the very top, before everything fell, because that'll show you where historically buyers and sellers come in. You can
Well,
see
that's good because I always ended up leaving it default, so now I can adjust it.
yeah, where you anchor matters huge. But as you can see, there's a big volume gap on Disney between where we are now and where it could be going back to all-time highs. Disney's really tough at the moment because um, their parks are partially closed, and generally people are not going to them because
But that's the
that's
thing,
silly buyers.
I feel like Disney's much more than just parks. I mean, I could be wrong, but I feel like I've seen plenty of.
Parks parks are a big part of their revenue.
Ah, okay.
So that it's a very large statistic. At the same time, people may be just simply making bets at this point that Disney's going to reopen and everything's going to be fine.
I mean, we reached the Ichi target, which would be top of the clouds over here. Like a push through over here would mean all-time highs, which I highly doubt happens now. I think we'll probably come back to the POC again before we move.
Pull up my Disney chart.
I had a lot of people wanting to kept asking me. They're like, "Yo, we want to invest in Disney long term. How do I do it?"
Hit
Ah.
market buy and walk away from your computer for a decade.
No, I kept telling them, I was like, yo, if you're gonna hit market buy, hit it like every so often. Don't just like, cause they were like, yeah, we want to go all in right now on it. I'm like, no. I'm like, don't ever come at me and be like, yo, you want to go all in. I'm like, don't do that.
I'm I'm so glad. Back on February 3rd, you'll see that dip on Disney, and I longed that perfectly for earnings. I was so happy on that, and I got out, and Disney immediately tanked. So I got out. I closed it right before earnings, and I think I made like 90% on that.
Is there
On out.
anything that you're using right now to identify like market bottoms or anything of that sorts?
Well, the anchored volume by profile. I'm not interested in catching knives. I'm interested in buying breakouts and the resumption of trends or trend reversals. So that's pretty much what I've been doing.
Oh,
Um,
my line's different. Sorry. I knew I didn't
here's
have it on. I was like wondering where's my line that was like yours. I'm like, I know I have it somewhere.
here's my Disney chart. What I've done here is I've anchored it to the very top and the very bottom, and I like creating an anchored VWAP envelope of sorts because it can tell you when the trend is actually starting to shift quite a bit. The other thing that Trend Spider guys told me about is to start anchoring breakout candles, which I'm going to start doing.
What do you
But
mean?
as we so let's say you have a stock in a consolidation range like we see here
Mhm.
on Disney. It goes up and down, continues testing that VWAP. But once it actually breaks out and starts a new impulse, you want to potentially anchor your VWAP to that breakout candle. And basically, the breakout candle can determine more of the coming trend as it moves up and forward.
Okay, so that would be right over here. So you're saying you would move that line? I mean,
No,
this
no,
is
no. I'm talking anchored VWAP.
okay. So I don't have that on yet.
So the chart that I sent you has the anchored volume profile at the very, very bottom, where you can see during that consolidation range, both the VWAP and the volume shelf held up the stock very consistently.
Yeah, the one thing I do want to note to everybody is that this thing I've heard is used more so by professional like institutional type traders. So that is one thing I've really liked. I never really actually applied it in my strategy. So to hear Dime talk about it and actually use it is pretty cool.
Dude, I've had one of my best trading weeks ever since I got back on TrendSpider this week and started using it. Like it's literally magic. Let me show you the other amazing example.
I'm willing
So
to try it, man. Let's go, cause
I
this week has been nice for me too. Like I finally, like 2 weeks ago, I was just telling Dime, I was like, yeah, man. I'm like, I started making money once I started going long on just everything.
Yeah, I've been trying to short this entire uptrend and I'm just giving up, which means we'll dump tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah, same.
Let me show you my silver chart because it really, really illustrates it very, very. I've got a lot of really good examples of this nonsense. It's really quite awesome because it just shows you. You have to remember that volume is a measure of market participation. Uh, it simply means how many people are participating in a given. And when you identify zones where everyone wants to participate, then you can profit, especially if you can identify the setup. And then, of course, you and I have cheddar flow, which gives us a little bit of an edge there. But uh, what I saw here, or I sent you a new chart. If you
How do I add this thing on?
add
The anchored thing.
right click
On what?
on any candle,
Okay.
anchored VWAP, bam,
Where is it?
you hide your Ichimoku cloud. You have to hit the D.
That's what I want to tell them to do is like this needs to be white if the background's gonna be black. Collapse. Oh shit. Hold on.
You see the D, hit the D.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So you, so that it drew that little line right. Also, typically you want to look at XAG because silver has just SLV has a bunch of gaps. Um, that's personal preference, obviously, but XAG has much more volume data because it trades 24 hours, same hours that futures do. I sent you my silver chart with some explanation of what I'm kind of looking at the.
Yeah, let me switch to that. Okay.
So
Okay, consolidation. I like that.
so we have it. We have the volume by price anchored to the bottom, and at the bottom here, you really don't see a lot of activity, which is expected after such a huge dump. But then once silver reclaims the mid range, the 50% Fibonacci extension, we start to see volume coming and it consolidates. And then right about May 13th, we see this breakout begin. And it breaks out from a massive volume shelf at about 15 and a half. And we saw our massive impulse upwards. Um, Note also just kind of how we embraced the anchored VWAP envelope, which was huge. Now it's not on the chart, but now we're creating another consolidation range above the 200 moving average, which is very interesting to me. So at this point, we do want to pay attention to silver. I am voting on an impulse down. I'm looking at a Wyckoff accumulation schematic on the month. We may not get it, but quite frankly, there is no reason to not be long on silver in 2021 at this point. But then again, I said that
Yeah.
3 months ago, and then we dumped.
But aren't you bearish on gold though?
I am bearish on gold. But the reason for that is a we have a triple bearish divergence forming gold. Pull up my chart.
Yo, did you ever read anything about Ichimoku wave theory?
It sounds made up.
No, no, it's legit. Pretty fucking cool stuff. I was reading more things from the guy who actually made this whole Ichimoku thing the other day, and man, this stuff is pretty fucking intense. Like, I'm on a whole nother level now.
I like to keep it, but I'll look at it later, or if you want to send.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll definitely will.
So here's what I'm looking at it on gold. So first of all, the weekly chart
Well, let me pull it up
has
for you. Okay, it's up.
a triple bearish divergence at this point, which does mean that buyers are starting to see some weakness. Now, will we print a lower low on the momentum scripts? Possible, but the momentum is dying. We're touching to the supply zone, which is where shorts would obviously very much like to short. On the fundamental side, uh, retail is FOMOing into gold right now, like really badly. And I could see it very possible that we see some kind of pullback again. This time, maybe for real, the coronavirus fears kind of back off a little. If we flip that 1800 level and close on the monthly, I'm much more keen to get back in gold. But silver has much greater risk reward levels at this time, this level, than gold does. Silver has very clearly stated that it doesn't want to go lower.
Yeah, those recoveries off those miners were just intense. Like a lot of those things recovered so strong on silver.
So I'm
Um,
not sure if I showed you this one. One thing I need TrendSpider to fix is when charts, it takes your anchored VWAP date with or anchored volume by price with you. It's very, very annoying.
what do you mean?
So if I switch charts and you're anchored to January 2011, but you then go down to another time frame on another ticker, it'll still anchor you to that date. It's very
Oh,
so they're working on fixing that, but it's very annoying in the short term. So check out this monthly chart on silver, which I am very jazzed on.
hang on. Wait.
So first,
Okay, here
first
we
of all,
go.
we have this highly profitable monthly pivot that has yielded like the best long entries you could have imagined on silver for the last decade. Just that one green bar would have essentially given you really good entries. So what happened was we had this capitulation dump on silver, which I think was the Wyckoff spring.
Mhm.
Um, but Point being, look at these two candles. The one with their arrow. So capitulation candle, and it comes back up, closes exactly above that monthly pivot level, and then begins to rise. And it just signaled to the market that sellers are not willing to let this go, or bills are not willing to let this go lower. This is the value zone. This is where people load the fucking boat on silver. And as you can see, it lined up as well with the anchored volume by price that's attached to all-time high for silver. So this was obviously the ideal entry. Uh, if you could get lower, that's awesome. But silver has some more room to run, especially with the gold and silver ratio completely inverted gold's favor right now. It's the highest it's ever been. I don't know if you track the gold silver ratio, but it is pretty bad.
No, I don't track that, but yeah, I mean, that's that. I don't know, man. Like, I would, I guess, like it sounds like you should be more bullish on silver than you should be on gold at this point.
I'm very bullish on silver.
That order flow that keeps coming in on cheddar flow keeps being bullish. Like somebody told me today they wanted to short silver. I'm like, well, probably not a good idea because these SLV callers keep buying in, buying in.
Yeah, that's true. They were also buying in at the last talk. I mean, I have some silver puts just in case we nuke again, but I'm expecting those to expire worthless, to be quite frank, or I'll cut them before that happens. But uh, silver has been artificially suppressed by various entities, J.P. Morgan, for a decade, and it's quite frankly time for it to run. I mean, they can't just keep selling it off every single time. But I think $35 by the end of the year is still a very realistic target. If you look at my chart as well, you'll see that there's just an absolute massive volume gap at 25, and I hope that we fill it at some. But this is it should be looking for longs on silver at this point. I'm going to keep adding if we get dips.
Any thoughts on the banks? I'm really long on banks. They've been making me a lot of money this week.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. Where is my chart?
Like I was so I had timed GE so perfectly. I got in on GE right before they started saying that the government sold all their stocks just to buy GE. I was like, yes, they're buying my calls. And then I think CNBC was shilling them. So this was going good.
Yeah, so I actually got long on Morgan Stanley 3 days ago. I saw a very large option flow coming in, and I was like, what in tarnation is going on here? Uh, let me send you actually my recent recent chart.
Man, it's hella bullish today. Even so, like 619, they're so bullish for 619. What the hell?
Yeah, I'm hoping for like 50-52 for the gap. Here, use this chart instead. This one actually has my notes on.
It's the most recent one.
Yep. So
Okay.
what we saw here. Oh, I didn't anchor this.
Resend it and I'll do it. I'll put it back up.
There we go.
Did you link the new one?
No, it takes a second for TrendSpider to decide to my chart.
They're like, well, we don't want to post it. Okay, there we go. I see it.
All right. So again, we have this consolidation range anchored to the all-time or the recent high, I should say. I don't know if it's the all going backwards. We see volume in this consolidation range anchored to the top candle. Once we saw a sincere breakout above that, it was off to the races. And as you can see, it's absolutely going nuts from this point. If I didn't actually anchor the bottom one. Oh, that's perfect. This is a here. I'm gonna send you one more.
Oh man.
Sorry, I'm
You're
really
good.
sorry. This is really cool. This is something that TrendSpider obviously likes to show off a lot. But I've added anchored VWAP to the very last capitulation candle there. And as you can see, it provided a super clutch entry. That would have been literally the bottom of this entire uptrend that we are in
Yeah, not
from
only
Morgan
that, you can
Stanley.
see the price compression when you see those two VWAP lines like getting together.
Right. This is the VWAP envelope. I don't know if anyone calls it that or has coined that term yet, but it's a setup that I've been using. basically once a price breaks out of the range created by the anchored VWAP most recent high and low, um, price begins to run typically, or impulse in whichever direction it's going to impulse.
So it sounds
But
like some sort of breakout like this, you'd probably be better off doing like a bi-weekly play or like at the max a monthly, nothing longer than that.
it depends what the asset is and what the cheddar flow, order flow is showing me. Which ones did I get? I'm in June 1944 calls. So
Okay.
then this one was, oh, did you see alt? I think I sent you alt.
Somebody said
ALT.
TD sequential is on the daily too.
What?
I might be reading a late message. Somebody said TD sequential on daily too.
I need to tell us what they're talking.
Crypto Baron or Crypto Bean, what are you talking about, sir? Oh well, he'll answer. Yo, Beastie, what's up, man? Thank you for joining, man.
Lord Beastie has entered the chat. So this was a really strange degenerate play that I got from Cheddarflow, and it really shows off the power of anchored volume by price. That was the easiest 200% bag I've made this week.
Off that breakout.
Can you see it?
Hang on, let me go back. Oh, I'm just pulling up something someone requested. Damn.
DFFN,
Yeah, this thing's been a monster. Is this the one you made money off of?
the one I just sent you. Yeah.
Dang, that
So
thing popped.
that thing popped, but you can see anchored from the bottom that everyone was still just buying at that level, and then it just lifted off. I have no idea what they are or what they do. Not really interested, but I sold the top, and I don't care at this point.
Did you do
Uh,
options or did you go just spot?
options,
Oh wow,
options. I pretty much almost exclusively trade options at this point. It's just kind of my bag.
that's good. I'm glad. No spot for us. Are you still adding
Sometimes,
on to your 401k? Or are you waiting on it?
I mean, adding on to it. I don't have a. I'm an unemployed trader, sir.
Oh wait, I
I
thought you
can't.
were adding to your long-term portfolio still.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, I buy stocks in IRA and retirements. Generally, I'm not buying my trading accounts.
Did you get approved for futures? I heard you did.
I'm working on it, but it takes like 6 to 10 business days for them to do that. So
That'll be really exciting. I would love to get your tips on that one because I haven't really
I
started
still have
it.
to, I still have to learn. So this other chart I just sent you is Sig jewelry. The chart setup was too gorgeous, and the option flow made it clear that something happened.
So
So
that
what we
looks like
have,
a breakout.
it is the raindrop candle looks even better. It's a full bulb, so it looks like it's gonna. But what you can see here is I've set up the anchored VWAP as usual. What we do from here though is we see a volume base form, and then price moves up, price comes back down, and tests the exact volume shelf coinciding with the anchored VWAP. From there, we start to see a move upwards, and now we've seen a breakout. Raindrop candle itself looks insanely bullish, like it's going to keep going up. Um, this gets really bullish once it breaks 14, which is the last prior high anchored VWAP. There are, as you can see, 3 gaps to fill on this chart. if
Yeah.
we if we can get one of them, I'll be happy. So far, it's sold off a little from the first gap, but since we are anchored to the very top, you can see that there's quite a bit of volume gap, not actual chart gap, but there's no volume or supply zone for this to run into resistance. Now, I'm not typically just I'm not a super huge bull on jewelry in general, but the chart spoke to me. Order flow was backing, so I took it for a
What's the
ride.
ticker for that one?
Sig SIG.
Let me check this. SIG. Yeah, prices inside the clouds. Looks like for me, like the target level would be that first gap up above. I don't know why a automatic line keeps popping up over here. I don't know what I have on here, but it works out perfectly.
Is that the point of control?
I think so. I think. Oh no, I think my POC's down here. I think I might have two POCs. No,
That's
BP. Yeah.
no, click on the left side. That's the volume price indicator. I don't know. I can help you troubleshoot that.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that later after stream. But yeah, that's the top target up here for like $17 would be really the level for SIG in general, just because it's broken to the clouds.
Let's see what else is on my radar. Oh yeah, work. So I think the market is underestimating very much at this point because it's done so poorly this year. It's just been pumped. Sent you a fancy little link.
Let's check it. Big volume shelf.
Big volume shelf, and this is anchored to the capitulation bottom. The other way you can look at it is you can anchor it to the IPO date, which will give you a very clear picture of where we're at with this. But what I see here is ascending triangle, obviously measuring us closer to 50, 40.
You're
We,
lagging out.
sorry about that. What we see here is an ascending triangle. It's 45. Um, the blue line that you see coming in from the left is an anchored VWAP from the actual IPO listing price. We are now over all of the interesting VWAPs. We are testing the volume shelf, as it were, from the capitulation bottom, and there's people that are buying it here. So, combined with the order flow, again, I think that work will see a positive up, especially with the sincere move into cloud computing ever since this whole coronavirus thing started. Um, all of the cloud companies and work from home enabling companies are doing quite well at the moment. We'll wait and see.
Let's go. Let's see what happens. Do you guys have any ticker requests? We'll have another 10 minutes left, and we can go ahead and go through whatever you guys have.
Got AXP and Under Armour.
AXP and Under Armour. Is that you or what somebody requested?
It's I mean, and if we're waiting for ticker requests, I got two more charts that I'm looking at right.
Okay. UAA, somebody would said. What are your thoughts on UAA?
Let me pull up the chart. UAA or you know,
Uh, yeah, Under Armour. Yep.
I thought Under Armour was UA. What's the difference between UAA and UA? Did I long the wrong stock?
That's like those people messing up SpaceX. UA. No, it looks like it's still coming up underneath the
It looks
same thing.
That's weird. Is it like the Canadian? Oh, it's the wait, no.
No.
What's UAA? They're what? Why do they have two tickers? That's so weird. Okay, well, in any event,
It
wait,
doesn't look like it's broken
did
out yet.
someone
What's that?
well, here's the fun thing about TrendSpider is that it kind of lets you see the breakouts as they're starting to unfold. Um,
See, for me on TrendSpider, it hasn't broken over the POC yet, which is also the bottom base of the cloud. So without it breaking, even still has to break the volume shelf as well on that.
I have a little bit of a different. Here's look at the most recent chart.
Hold on. Okay.
So you can't see
Oh,
it on this chart because I closed it, but it has a bullish divergence after double bot. And by the way, I'll give a shout out to Hyper Bitcoin's Duck for pointing me into this. So this wasn't my original idea, but I did chart it out and I liked it.
thank you,
Um,
Duck.
thank you, Doc. We love you. So we have a not a great bullish divergence because it's a little elongated, but it's still there. Anchored to the absolute bottom. We flipped that anchored VWAP today and broke the downtrend. We are sitting on a volume shelf with a gap to fill. Um, there wasn't anything on Cheddar Flow for this, but it does appear to be creating something of a breakout here, in my opinion. Um, again, anchored to the top, we can see buyers have decided that it's undervalued down here, and hopefully we'll see another up move tomorrow.
What do we got over on Twitch? Do we got any
Twitch.
chart requests? We don't. Do you guys have any requests, or we're gonna just we're gonna wrap this up with that request? If not, I'll give Dime some request. Here, Dime. Let's see.
You want to see AXP?
Give me your thoughts on GE and XLF. Those are the ones I'm long on right now that keep just going up every day.
Well, XLF is an easy long right now. I can tell you without looking at the chart. All of the bank stocks are rallying, so of course XLF is just go up, up, and
Send it,
away.
King.
And what was the first one? GE.
Yeah, GE's the other one that I'm in.
I charted that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is all coming together. So what I think I noted.
I did CGC into earnings, or I'm trying it. I hope that's a good idea. Looks like it is.
Volume by price is preventing me from anchoring these candles. Oh, is that no? That's not the ones. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud here while I
Oh, you're
put this all
fine.
together. Volume price. I'm going to turn that off. There we go. Okay. So what we have here, about to send it to you.
Did you know
So
somebody bought $35,000 worth of Oxy calls for July?
yeah, those are the ones I bought today. That's not my order.
This is Dime, guys. He dropped a nice 1.1 mil.
Yep, secret whale. Uh, but yeah, that's what made me take a look at the Oxy chart today. Actually, I was just kind of like, what kind of a strange bet is this on a company that's so? I mean, Oxy is so deep in debt. It's really, really deep in debt. But chart is pointing towards a setup, and it does like to pump sporadically. So here's hoping. Uh, here's GE for you.
Okay, let's check GE. Ooh, I like it already because that's resistance. The VWAP is the resistance at cloud for me. So if it breaks through that VWAP area, man, that's
Yeah,
moon.
if it moons from there, it should continue. As you can see, there's big volume discrepancies on the way up. It's not going to enter into any kind of supply zone until it hits 11 or so. Uh, Breaking out from the triangle is definitely positive, and it is sitting on this nice volume shelf at this point. Flipping the VWAP would be ideal at this point, so we'll have to take it from there. But if you're already long from the bottom, then let it ride. I'm trying to be better about letting my winners run, so good time to let this run.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't exit my any of these because they were up like 100% after the first time I entered them, and I was like, well, I should probably be safe and maybe go ahead and not like be greedy, but these things have just been keep going up, so I think I'm gonna ride it into
You
June.
do it, do it.
Yeah, guys, that is the stream. I appreciate everybody hopping on. If you guys want to join tomorrow, we'll have another stream tomorrow. I don't know what time yet, so it's either gonna be at 7 p.m. or 9 p.m. It'll just depend on whatever everybody wants. And yeah, thank you so much for joining. And Dime, thank you so much for joining. Always a pleasure. And we will catch you guys later or in Discord for the ones that are in there.